And there's the horn. Minnesota advances. Bring on the Chicago Blackhawks as the Blues are eliminated in 6 games.
Mike, let's start out with looking back at the St. Louis series. Now in hindsight, was Game 4 a good remedy for your team, a little bit of an eye-opener that might help you the rest of the way?
Yeah, we talked about being something we can learn from. As I look back on it right now, I actually think it was probably a little bit better for us to get spanked, if you want to say it that way, than to lose by a goal, to lose in overtime, to just fall a little bit short. I think it was a good stiff reminder that there's certain ingredients that have to go into our game in order for us to be successful, and the guys they responded more than the way that we could have expected from them.
Response has been a big key for your team over the last 3 months. The ability to respond to challenges, to respond to losing streaks, the resiliency. What has allowed your team to be as good in those kind of spots?
I think it's got to start with your leadership. You look at Suits and Mikko and Zach and those 3 guys, but we've got a lot more than that. But it's part of it's a confidence that has to grow too. And we always talk about how confidence is earned, and we spent a great deal of time earning that confidence. We went through some hard times and we got through it, and that's part of it. And some of the confidence comes from what you've done in previous years and how you've gotten through that. But the way that we were kind of our backs were against the wall for a long period of time, and we had to win a lot of hockey games. And with that, there wasn't a lot of time for us to be able to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves. With our foot on the gas like that, I think we learned what we were capable of, and so that's something that we've been able to take into the playoffs with us.
Now you head into a Chicago series for the 3rd year in a row. When you look back at the previous 2, what were some of the areas where they were better than you that you have to be able to turn in your favor this time around?
Well, there's a lot of times where you feel like you're playing well and then you're coming up on the short end of the stick. I mean, that's a team that you can outchance, in the game, but they can capitalize on their opportunities. It's not a team that needs 20 scoring chances to score 4 goals in a game. They can finish very well. They can play in different types of games, and they don't need a whole lot of an opening to hurt you. And I think that experience has been a big factor. I'm hoping that a lot of the experience that we've gained the last couple of years has even that playing field. But it's a tough team to try to get them to crack, to try to get them to break. You're not going to get a lot of frustration out of them. You're not going to take them away from their game. They got a good understanding of it. They have confidence in it. So it's about us being better than ours than trying to take them away from theirs.
Gaining playoff experience is significantly different. When you look back to that team that you went into the first series with them, half of your lineup was playing in their first playoff game. You had 1 defenseman who had ever been in a playoff game. Now it's very different with your team. But not only that, it's experience that the guys have had together. Does that make it even more valuable to gain that experience when you're doing it as a group?
Yeah, for sure, but we're all going to try to look for reasons why it could be different, or try to find things and why it will be different. But the reality is nothing's different right now. And the only difference will come is if we prove that it's different, or if we make it different as this playoffs go on. We have to find a way to beat them. We have to find a way to win in their building. These are things that we haven't done yet. So we like our chances. We're a quiet, confident group, and we're optimistic. We recognize it's still going to be hard, but to sit here and say things are different, they're not. We have to make them different.
You mentioned winning in their building, and that obviously is something you haven't done in the playoffs over the last 2 years, but you have won there in the regular season. You did clinch a playoff spot in that building, and right now you have a team that's playing as well on the road as any Wild team ever, and maybe as anybody in the NHL. What's been key to your regular season success on the road that you now need to carry over into Chicago in the playoffs?
Well, without question, it starts with me that we're not waiting for the puck to drop, and we're not waiting for the other team to see what they're going to bring. We know what our game is, and we're going to go all in with it right from the start. And I think it's kind of that aggressive mentality that allows us to have a little bit more push to start the game, and a little bit more pushback if the other team gets some momentum. I think if you're just accepting and you just let them come at you, a team that has momentum, a team that's feeling good at home, it's going to make for a long night. A big part of it, I think, is our depth, and having a little bit more depth. So if teams really try to, key in on a certain matchup, then we have some other guys who can step up in certain situations. But for me, it's been mostly about attitude.
Scandella, wide score!